Rashford is leaving? Aston Villa is going all in. João Félix, a shocking transfer that no one expected. Tottenham snatches Man United's star, an urgent transfer. And what about Salah's contract? Liverpool definitely did not expect such a turn of events. Let's get 500 thumbs up, it really helps the video take off. Click the button and let's dive into the hot news, all the details, right now. Well folks, what a plot twist! Marcus Rashford to Aston Villa? Not too long ago, he was seen as Manchester United's future captain, the face of the club, the academy's pride. And now he's being kicked out, so much so that he's ready to escape to Birmingham. But let's break it down. Is this a real scenario or just another transfer circus? According to insider reports, Villa is in the final stages of negotiations for Rashford's loan move. Yes, that Marcus Rashford, the one who used to tear defences apart, is now forced to look for temporary shelter at another club. And why? Because at United he's become an outcast. Ruben Amorim doesn't see him in the squad and has made it clear that if Marcus wants to play, he has to change. And while he's changing, United keeps him on the bench. 12 matches without playing, this is the result. And here's where it gets interesting. Unai Emery's Villa genuinely believes they can bring Rashford back to life. The manager personally pushed for this transfer. Word is, he's convinced Marcus can still reach his top level, and Villa has an ace up its sleeve. They're playing in the Champions League. Yeah, let's take a moment to process that. Aston Villa is in the UCL and United is not. Is that even legal? Financially, this is a whole other story. Rashford earns £325,000 per week. So, the question is, who's paying? Villa seems willing to cover most of it, but is this expense even justified? The guy's been out of action, lost his form, and raises more questions than answers. But if the deal happens, Villa will have a buy option. If Rashford shines, great. If not, they'll dump him back to United like unwanted baggage. But the biggest question, does Villa even need him? Could he disrupt the squad, or could he become their attacking centerpiece? What do you think? Is this a lifeline for Rashford or a reckless gamble? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're watching on TV, don't be lazy, hit the thumbs up button on your remote. It really helps push the video, and that way I can keep bringing you even more awesome content. Let's see, can we hit 500 likes on this one? Tottenham jumps into the race for Alejandro Garnacho at the last minute. Yes, that Garnacho, the one who just started playing regularly for Manchester United. The Spurs are reportedly preparing a £60 million offer, but here's the big question. Does the Argentine winger even want to move to North London? This isn't the first club trying to lure the 20-year-old away. Back in January, Napoli went after him, but their €55 million bid didn't impress United. Then Chelsea entered the picture, desperate for a new left winger to replace the suspended Mudryk, and now it's Tottenham, suddenly pushing to get the deal done before the transfer deadline. There's a catch though. Garnacho isn't exactly eager to leave. Ruben Amorim is a big fan of his and doesn't want to let him go. Plus, the fans would be furious. Garnacho has only just started lighting it up at Old Trafford, and it's unlikely the Argentine himself is itching to leave a club that's finally recognizing him as a key player. By the way, most viewers watch videos on TV. If you're one of them, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps promote the video, and all it takes is one click on your remote. But here's the bigger issue. Ineos is looking for cash, and selling Garnacho would be pure profit. United's financial situation is shaky, so if someone puts £80 million on the table, the Argentine might have to say goodbye to Old Trafford. Are Spurs really ready to spend that much? They already had a plan A, Mathis Tel, but that fell through. Now Tottenham is scrambling as the transfer window shuts in just one day. They know Garnacho is a top asset, and it's now or never. The only question is whether they are truly willing to take the plunge. Postecoglou wants to strengthen the squad, and Garnacho represents the future. Talent, dribbling, speed. The only question is whether Spurs have the courage to make that offer. And now, the most intriguing part. What will Garnacho choose? Stay at United under Amorim, knowing the club was willing to sell him, or take the leap and move? Or maybe this is all just hype to stir the pot? Let us know what you think in the comments. Brilliant move or total nonsense? It hasn't even been a year, and Manchester United has realised that the £50 million they spent didn't buy them a new Van der Sar. They got a meme with gloves. The goalkeeper hailed as the next big thing turned out to deliver more nervous tics to fans and countless jokes on social media than super saves. Now, the Red Devils are desperately searching for a replacement, and Gregor Kobel from Dortmund has appeared on the horizon. As if on cue, Chelsea has joined the race, facing their own struggles at the last line of defence. Why Kobel? The Swiss keeper is one of the most reliable in the Bundesliga. For Borussia Dortmund, he's played 143 matches, keeping 46 clean sheets. He's not at Neuer's elite level, but his composure far exceeds Onana's. With a contract running until 2028, he won't come cheap. A €60 million price tag doesn't sound outlandish, but for Manchester United, it's a significant expense. Reports suggest negotiations could start this summer. But here's the catch: United has too many other holes in the squad. Sure, the goalkeeping issues are glaring, but what about the inconsistent defence and the midfield chaos? Even if they'd love to bring in Kobel, spending that kind of money might leave them unable to address other critical areas. Chelsea isn't far behind. Enzo Maresca seems to back Sanchez, but let's be honest, it feels more like forced optimism. The Londoners have long been looking for a stable keeper, and Kobel seems like the perfect solution. The question is, do Chelsea have the courage and financial resources to outbid United? So, what's next? Dortmund doesn't intend to let their Swiss keeper go just yet, but if United were to put up a significant offer, it could change everything. On the other hand, if United shifts their focus to more urgent issues, Chelsea might have an excellent shot at sealing the deal. What do you think? Should Manchester United be focusing so heavily on finding a new goalkeeper, or would it be better to prioritise other positions? Drop your thoughts in the comments and we'll keep it moving. Ronald Araujo has signed a new contract with the Catalans, but it's not as straightforward as it seems. You'd think, contract extended, everyone's happy. But if you dig deeper, this is an absolute bombshell. Just a couple of weeks ago, it looked like the Uruguayan was already packing his bags. Bayern, Juventus, every top club in Europe was drooling over him. And suddenly, boom, he signs a deal until 2031. But don't celebrate just yet. A €65 million release clause. You've got to be kidding. By the summer of 2025, any decent club could snatch Barca's captain for peanuts. For comparison, Madrid paid €70 million for 16-year-old Endrick. What is this? Barca becoming incredibly generous? Or is there a catch? Well, the catch is massive. For regular clubs, yes, the buyout is €65 to €85 million. But if you're Bayern, Real Madrid, PSG or Manchester City, get ready to cough up €300 to €400 million. Barca has quite literally chained Araujo away from their Champions League rivals with golden handcuffs. A ridiculous price for the top clubs, but a bargain for everyone else. The real question is, who will actually go for him? And why did Barca make this move? It's simple. They're playing chess. Barca knows that losing Araujo would be a disaster. He's not just a defender, he's a leader. But at the same time, the club left a loophole for specific buyers. They're betting that second-tier clubs like Juventus, Chelsea and Man United, teams that aren't direct UCL competitors, will come knocking, and that's when negotiations can happen. But what about Ronald himself? That's the key question. Does he really want to stay? Or is he just waiting for a rich but non-elite club to come along and buy him out for pocket change? The reality is, Barca isn't giving him a 100% guarantee. If Íñigo Martínez returns, Araujo could see fewer minutes, and Laporta loves selling stars when the money smells good enough. What do you think? Will he stay? Will he leave? Has Barca pulled off a genius move or just set itself up for disaster? Saudi Arabia has rolled out the red carpet once again, and this time it's for Mohamed Salah. The Saudi Minister of Sports has openly stated that their league wants the Egyptian star, hinting that it's only a matter of time. And here's the kicker. Salah's contract with Liverpool runs out this summer. Smell the money yet? Liverpool, are you even aware that your star player is still without a new deal? Salah is a Premier League top scorer with 21 goals this season. Yet by the end of December, he calmly admitted, negotiations? There's nothing concrete yet. In other words, the best player on the team, who's approaching 32, is just waiting for the club to make a decision. The Reds legend is hanging in the balance, and the longer this show goes on, the more Saudi Arabia rubs its hands in anticipation. So, what's the holdup? The Saudi League authorities are ready to enter outrageous offer mode because they have one goal: to elevate their league to top-tier status. Salah is the perfect candidate to become the face of that project. Benzema? He's past his prime. Ronaldo? Great, but they need someone younger. Enter the Egyptian king. Why is the Saudi League so eager to sign Salah? It's simple. He's more than just a footballer. He's the most famous Muslim player in the world, an icon in Egypt, and immensely popular among Arab fans. Signing him wouldn't just mean landing a superstar, it would mark a whole new level of prestige. Last year, they already tried to lure Mo away from Liverpool. Remember the €200 million offer? The Reds turned it down, but now things are different. The Saudi Professional League doesn't just want Salah, they see him as a cultural bridge between East and West. This isn't just about goals and assists, it's about politics, prestige, and global stature. And here's another fun fact. 95% of viewers are watching this video without subscribing. Seriously? Let's fix that. Hit that subscribe button and keep up with the biggest transfer rumors together. So, what will Salah choose? Money or legacy? Will he stay at Liverpool to fight for a few more European titles, or take that final massive paycheck and become the king of football in the Middle East? If Liverpool doesn't sign him to a new deal, they risk losing him for free come June. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia is waiting with open arms. What do you think? Will Salah follow in Ronaldo and Benzema's footsteps, or stay and secure his place in the Reds' history books? Share your thoughts in the comments. Manchester United has entered the race for Mathys Tel, the young French talent who has yet to decide where he wants to continue his career. It looks like Old Trafford is preparing for a backup plan. If Marcus Rashford leaves, they'll need a replacement. But here's the question, is Tel really what United needs? For starters, the striker himself isn't exactly eager to join a club where he won't be guaranteed playing time. He's already warming the bench at Bayern, getting just a few minutes at best in late-game situations. And what now? Does he want to swap one bench for another? This is exactly why the rumors about his move keep flaring up and dying down. He's looking for a club where he can truly develop. Meanwhile, Tottenham isn't wasting time either. Levy even flew to Germany with a £60 million offer, but even that didn't convince the Frenchman. Maybe it's because he doesn't want to be just another promising signing who never gets a real chance to shine. Instead, Tel and his representatives are looking for a club where he can be a starting striker, not just an injury backup. And what about United? They seem to be preparing a loan offer, hoping that a temporary deal will satisfy all parties. But between almost done and deal completed, there's a long way to go. On top of that, reports suggest that an agreement is still far off. Naturally, fans are already raising questions. For example, if Rashford really leaves, can Tel actually replace him? Or is this just a desperate attempt not to end up empty-handed? In this transfer window, things can change in a matter of hours. Tel is still negotiating. Bayern is ready to let him go, but which club will win the race? If he does end up choosing United, it will be a big test for the club. Will they actually give the young forward a chance? Or will this be another hyped-up transfer that ultimately flops? So, stay tuned for updates. By the way, 95.5% of viewers watch without subscribing. If you're one of them, check if you're subscribed. If you're watching on Android TV, just hit the subscribe button now. If you're on another TV, grab your phone and subscribe. It helps me create even more content for you. So, what do you think? Where will Tel end up? And can he become United's new attacking leader? Drop your thoughts in the comments. João Félix might be on his way to AC Milan. It seems like Chelsea only finalized his permanent transfer last summer, and now they're already looking to offload him. Why? Because in 6 months, he's brought absolutely no value to the team. What's going on? Milan wants to take Félix on loan, but here's the kicker, without any obligation to buy. Essentially, they want to test the guy out, and if things don't work out, send him straight back. It's like saying, can I test drive your Bentley, but you'll cover the gas? Here's the deal, no guaranteed payments. If Milan decides they actually want João, then they'll talk about paying the £40 million fee. If not Chelsea, here's your player back. Milan would cover part of his wages, but Chelsea would still shoulder the bulk. So, you're paying a player who's not even playing for you. Classic. The deal could be closed as early as next week if Chelsea agrees to these terms. What about Félix himself? He's not opposed. For one, Milan's coach, Sergio Conceição, is a fellow Portuguese and genuinely wants him in the squad. Plus, they share the same agent, Jorge Mendes, and when Mendes is involved, the money somehow always works out. Lastly, Félix isn't a regular starter at Chelsea, but at Milan, at least he'll get some playing time. But let's be honest, who's the real winner here? Milan gets a free striker for 6 months, Chelsea clears some dead weight, and Félix gets a shot at a fresh start. It all sounds good on paper, but if Chelsea really ends up paying to loan out their own player, it'll be nothing short of a joke. What do you think? Will Félix finally start performing, or is his career still in free fall? Let us know in the comments, and leave a like if you're looking forward to even more top transfers. Be honest, who would have thought that Jorginho, a European champion, a trophy winner, and one of the best playmakers of his generation, would seriously consider moving to Brazil? Flamengo isn't exactly a top Champions League club, so what's behind this unexpected turn of events? Is Jorginho tired of being a backup at Arsenal, or is he really drawn to sunny beaches and a new football adventure? So, what's the situation? Flamengo's sporting director, José Boto, has already met with the players' representatives. Negotiations are in full swing. Both sides are close to an agreement, and it looks like the Rio-based club wants to finalize the deal before the transfer window closes. As for Jorginho, he's not against the move either. And why not? At 33, he clearly doesn't want to spend the rest of his career warming the bench, only getting occasional minutes in cup matches. But what does Arsenal think? Mikel Arteta values Jorginho's experience, composure, and ability to control the game's tempo. The club is even willing to offer him a new contract. However, Jorginho himself doesn't seem too excited about that. Maybe he feels his role in the team is shrinking and it's time for a new challenge. Another key factor, the timing. Brazilian football is currently in its off-season, which means Flamengo can sign players until the end of February. However, Arsenal may insist on finalizing the deal before the European window closes, as they'll need time to find a replacement. The club doesn't want to be left short in midfield during a crucial part of the season. Or is this just a negotiation tactic? On the other hand, Flamengo's interest could just be a bargaining chip, a way to secure a better deal in Europe. We've seen these situations before. First, the player seems ready to move, then suddenly stays and gets an improved contract. So, is this a genuine desire to switch continents, or just a clever agent's move to raise his value? What do you think? Is Jorginho really heading to Brazil? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's move on to the next news block. If Barcelona had its own TV series, it would be called Documents. What documents? The new episode centers on the fate of Dani Olmo, a player the club seemingly registered only for La Liga to immediately proclaim, "Oh sure, but not with us." This is a classic scenario. Barca missed the deadline, ignored the rules, and then switched into Laporta will sort everything out mode. Dani Olmo is a player that Barca supporters had long been anticipating. A technically gifted, intelligent product of La Masia, it seemed his transfer should have proceeded without any issues. However, there was one small detail. Registration with La Liga had to be completed by a specific deadline. As usual, Barcelona delayed the process, and the registration documents arrived late. They tried to upload the license, but La Liga blocked the process because the club had no available space on its wage bill. The president of Barcelona is not accustomed to losing. When La Liga does not give the green light, alternative routes must be found. This led to the involvement of the CSD's sports arbitration, which can bypass certain rules in cases of force majeure. Ultimately, the CSD approved Olmo's registration, and Barca jubilantly announced, "That's it, issue closed." However, La Liga's head, Javier Tebas, did not appreciate this maneuver. Tebas is a man who has repeatedly thrown wrenches into Barcelona's plans. Just recall the saga surrounding Messi's contract. Back then, La Liga's strict regulations also prevented the Catalans from retaining the legend. And now, a new clash emerges. La Liga asserts that Barca violated the regulations. Tebas describes the CSD's intervention as a threat to fair play. Barcelona insists that it acted within the law and processed everything correctly. In short, someone is clearly not telling the truth. Looking at the situation more broadly, the CSD's involvement is essentially government interference in football matters. Considering that Tebas and the Spanish authorities frequently have diverging views, it becomes clear that this scandal has long since surpassed the boundaries of football. Perhaps Tebas simply wants to demonstrate La Liga's authority, showing that no arbitration or political decision can alter his rules. Alternatively, it might be that Barcelona really did slip up and is now merely scrambling to extricate itself. The most pressing question now is, what comes next? La Liga has already filed an appeal. They aim to annul Olmo's registration, arguing that the CSD had no right to intervene. If the court sides with La Liga, Olmo will be left without a license and unable to play. Should Barca lose, it would be a devastating blow to a club already teetering on the edge of financial crisis. Conversely, if Laporta manages to extricate himself once again, it would mark another defeat for Tebas, further weakening his grip on La Liga. In short, tensions are rising, and a new chapter in this saga is imminent. Barcelona stands on the brink, while Tebas is ready to apply even more pressure. What do you think? Who will emerge victorious? Will Laporta manage another escape? Will Tebas achieve his aims? Or might an entirely unexpected twist await us? Share your thoughts in the comments and give a like if you believe this scandal is nothing more than a circus.